Welcome, Team Purple Rain, to your first elimination. Now, I will quickly explain to those of you who might not be familiar with how things go around here, what we will be doing tonight. We will start off, I will ask you some questions, and we will just have a little conversation. It's going to be very casual, but I encourage you to answer as honestly as you feel comfortable with. And then once we are done with that, we will move into a vote. Now, this vote, I will be asking you to private message me on the Zoom chat the name of the contestant that you feel deserves to be eliminated tonight. And then I will read out the votes, how many votes each contestant received, and that will determine who is eliminated tonight. Capiche? All right, let's get down to business. The first question I want to ask, we throw this one at you, Meg. How did you feel after that challenge?
I was disappointed, obviously. I wanted to do better. I mean, you always want to win. And I really was sad because I specifically really had like the premonition that it was going to be this one. Since that riddle got sent out in the chat, and I was like, I have so much weird stuff in my house. Now is my time to shine. But I think when it actually happened, it was a lot more chaotic than I was expecting. But I'm happy with how I did. I think we all did our best, and you know, it's always tricky getting into the rhythm of it in the beginning.
Oh, for sure. Trey, I know you had a pretty strong reaction after the other team went their first round. Were you feeling the pressure that when you saw the times compared? Is that where that came from? Tell me about that moment.
You know, Antonio, I consider Monday a failure, not because of a lost challenge, you know, it happens, but because of a lost cool. I lost my cool there, and it's never something you want to happen, you know, you don't expect it to happen. You don't expect it to happen over the phrase attributive noun, but you know, sometimes sometimes things take you to a place you're not expecting to go, and well, it really gave me a lot to think about. It gave me a new direction to work towards, and I'm grateful for that, honestly, for the opportunity, if nothing else.
Mm-hmm. That is such a noble response, Trey. Wow. I appreciate that. I know things can be heated on Survivor, you know, the time when the clock is ticking, emotions are running high. How do we feel? You know, there were some accusations being thrown around in the challenge from your other team about the team spirit. Seemed like they were trying to assert that they had a stronger team spirit than you all. How do you feel about that? Emily, how about you? I'm going to hop over to you. What are your thoughts?
Well, honestly, I don't know what they're talking about. I think we got a pretty good group going on here. Just because we're not loud doesn't mean we don't have team spirit.
You know, anyone can put on an orange shirt, but it takes something more to, you know, breathe and bleed purple. That's all I got to say.
You should be careful not to confuse like loudness and aggressiveness towards the other team with team spirit. I think what we have on this team is like good vibes, good energy, and like friendship. So I think that's worth a little bit more, in my opinion.
Yeah, it certainly seems like the other team is just here to win, and not that we wouldn't love that too, but you know, we're also here for the bonds, you know, the friendships we're going to build over the season.
I will also say too that I don't really think that whoever wins the first challenge is really an indicator of anything in the long term of the game. We have 10 more weeks of this, and congrats, you won the first challenge. Now do it again and again and again and again, and then we'll see if it really means something. Also, it is really just, orange is already a hideous enough color as it is, but it is a particularly ugly color to have unsportsmanlike behavior. So having this here, you know, we took our loss, we held our heads high, and now we're here at Elimination. We're going to do what we have to do. Orange, like I said, win again, and then we'll see if it's a threat or not.
I have to thank the producers truly for putting me on Team Purple, because if I had to, as a man of ginger persuasion, go through what Alex Patterson is going through right now, being a ginger wearing orange, it's an upsetting thing that I don't. Alex is my friend, and I'm really feel sorry for him in this situation.
You know, I hadn't considered that, Trey. I thank you for bringing that to our attention. We might have to reconsider how we choose people to be on teams.
Think about our complexions.
Right.
So, okay, well, so you guys, you're vibing. And that's what I hear, is that you're here for the bonds, and that, like, you know, challenge win doesn't mean anything. So talk to me. I want to hear some of you talk to me about who the people are in this game that you trust already. Chava, let's start with you with this question. Is there anyone here that you feel like you can trust?
Yes, there are quite a lot of people on the team who I've been able to talk to so far, and that's part of why I wanted to do Survivor, was to, like, reach out and make connections with people. But I feel like I shouldn't say in front of everyone who I'm trusting right now, but just know that there's some powerful women on the team.
Oh, all right. Okay, well, that's interesting, because that is something else I was curious about. On season 1, we saw that there were some divisions that emerged on some teams, particularly on Team Red Scare, that was in Elimination quite a number of times in a row at the beginning of the season. Some divisions that started cropping up in terms of major, in terms of year at the theater school. So who wants to talk to me about how those divisions are coming about this season?
I can't really say I see any, you know? Like I said, I think this team is pretty closely knit. We all have been bonding in the Slack chat. Some of them have even reached out to me, and, you know, those who I haven't been able to talk to one-on-one have definitely, you know, some friendly faces.
I think too that, you know, the difference between, you know, regular Survivor, this Survivor, we all are a part of the same community already. And so you're thinking of ways that you can, like, bonds with people, or, like, play the game and, like, align, and, like, there's all these different categories, like major and, you know, blah blah blah. But I think that you said it before, Antonio, that the strongest teams are the ones with the good vibes. The strongest teams are the ones that make new connections, talk to people that they never would have really talked to otherwise, and I can already tell that this is going to be a team of great vibes and plenty of new friendships.
Love it. Love the good vibes. Well, so then I have to ask, obviously, too, I need to throw this in here. We have to ask, how was it for the 7 of you that were believing that it was going to be 7 versus 7? How was it when you saw Fiona and Jordan brought into the Zoom on Monday? Colin, why don't you talk to me about how that was?
Well, I mean, I was ecstatic to know that Jordan was going to be on our team. Jordan, I don't know if you know this, but me and Jordan, we lived in the same building last year over at Sheffield Square. What's up? And Jordan, I know for a fact that Dave's a certified gangster. And it seems like that is a trend on this team, of, like, some real mofos being here, you know, and they fits right in. And, you know, they've just been a terrific addition to this team, honestly. And I believe, you know, obviously, as we talked about, you know, we took the L. this past week, but I believe that they will only prove to strengthen the team spirit that we have, and that they'll help us move on to victory in other ways. So, yeah.
Nice. Jordan, I have to ask you how it felt coming in. What were you feeling before you entered the Zoom? Was it exciting? Were you feeling a little sneaky? How was that?
Well, at first I was feeling a little sneaky, and then it hit me. It was the survivor anxiety. It was like about a minute in, Holly Dodd texted, and she was like, "Gear up, babes, you're going in." And I was like, ah! I was extremely nervous, but I also got to hear the team name before, and I was just like, yep, this is gonna be a kick-ass ride. And it's a new game. Yeah, I'm a returning player, but in reality, like, I'm a new player because Survivor is based on the people who you're playing with. This is a whole new group of people. So it's just like I entered it with a whole new mindset, ready to play, ready to meet people, and I'm excited for this team and how far this team is about to go. Because as we all, like, we didn't fall into the trap of needing to project our pride onto the other team. We have it, and we're cultivating it within ourselves. Sucks we're here right now, but we've got this. So I'm super hyped. I'm super hyped.
Well, I am also very hyped, Jordan, that you're back. For those of you that didn't watch last season, Jordan's elimination was particularly painful, as they did have an immunity item that they did not use. And it was the most difficult moment for me as host to not tell them to use it.
Because I don't know if y'all know, but I like texted Antonio and I was like, I knew he couldn't answer, but I was like, should I use it? I was like, do you think I should like just go for it? So the one advice I give, the one thing that I did learn is if you have a moment, check in with your gut and follow it when you can. This game is about strategy and head, but check in with your gut, y'all. That's all, that's what I learned.
There you go. That was some free advice from someone who's been through the game already. Invaluable. Okay, I just have one last question, and I'd love for a few of you to chime in on this before we get down to business. And that is, moving forward, how are you determining who you are voting for each week? What determines who gets a target on their back?
Personally, it's early game right now, and for me that means challenges. I think that's what I'm mostly concerned with. I think we got to project strength. We've got the vibes. Now it's time to stack the wins.
I think I agree with that too. Yeah, as much as, I loved the people on Red Scare last season, it is not, I don't want us to go to elimination every week. That doesn't sound like fun. So I'd like to manifest that doesn't happen. So the stronger our team can be, the better, I think, at this point in the game.
Great. I lied. I actually have one more question. And I want to hear specifics, and I want to hear as many of you as feel comfortable, but who are you looking out for on the orange team?
Honestly, the non-acting majors, because y'all acting majors, you're loud, and we always know what's on your minds, but like the non-acting majors, they got like, we don't know what's going on in their head.
I'm an actor, Emily, and I literally have nothing I can disagree with that just came out of your mouth.
That's true, because at first I was thinking, I'm like, it's the people who are going to be like loud and brash and like really going to fight against you. But honestly, that'll only take you so far. You're right. It's the sneaky people that you have to look out for.
I think you got to look out for everyone. I think that as soon as you don't think that someone's a threat, they become a threat. So I am, I'm like this. I'm curious. I'm trying not to think too much about the orange team, the orangey glads yet, because we are purple rain right now. There's no point in thinking about what happens until the purple rain clouds go away. So that is all I have to say.
I love that we communally agreed this is like our thing. There was no prior discussion. It's just
Purple rain.
Is this the purple rain symbol?
Mhm.
I think
Yes.
so. It's raining.
You know, Antonio, when you say specific names or specifics, really only one person comes to mind for me, and that's Fiona Warburton. And it's not out of fear, honestly. It's just out of, I mean, I don't want to get into it on the show, but I've known Fiona a long time, and I considered her honestly one of my best friends. But there's been some ugliness recently. There's been what I call a betrayal, what some other people would call a misunderstanding, but whatever you want to call it, it's not pretty, and I'm not looking forward to going head to head with her. I mean, the sense of stress followed by relief that I've experienced when I saw Jordan and Fiona come in, and then I saw Fiona wearing orange. I haven't felt that since Joe Biden was elected.
Goodness.
Just gotta tell her what I feel it.
I appreciate that. I am not certain whether or not you're being serious. I think it's possible you could be being serious, which is interesting to me.
I'm a straight shooter, Antonio. Don't know what to tell you.
Well, then, you know, fingers crossed for you, Trey, because as we saw last season, Fiona was a pretty fierce competitor.
She was fan favorite.
She was something.
And yes, and she was a fan favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you, Trey, though, for naming specifics. I appreciate that. And with that, that's a perfect segue into... It is time to set your first teammate adrift in the first elimination episode of Survivor TTS Season 2. When I call your name, I would like you to private message me the name of the contestant that you feel deserves to be eliminated tonight. First up, we have Georgia. Next, Emily. Colin, Chava, Meg, Trey, Shane, and Jordan. All right. All the votes are in. I will now reveal who received the votes. First vote is for Shane. We have another vote for Shane. We have a vote for Emily. We have another vote for Shane. Fourth vote for Shane. Another vote for Shane. A sixth vote for Shane. And one final vote for Shane. Shane, my friend, I am so sorry to have to tell you. This means you have been eliminated from Team Purple Rain on Survivor TTS.
Hey man, it is what it is.
I see that you are enjoying a taco. Is that what that you're eating?
Yes.
Unfazed, continuing to eat your taco. Is there anything that you would like to say, Shane, before you leave us tonight?
You know, it was fun while it lasted. Can't say I understand all of your decisions, but you know, I'll take it to heart, you know. Maybe I need to come back and change. Maybe someday I'll return to Survivor. But I'll remember this moment.
Yes, I love that. Well, Shane, yes, you're right. It was fun while it lasted. It was really great to have you here. Always love seeing the first years that have the courage to come and participate in something like this. So thank you for joining us. All right, Shane, you may leave the Zoom.
Bye, Shane. Bye.
Bye, Shane.
Damn!
It was so bad.
God.
That was oh.
Yeah, y'all, I told ya. Eliminations are not fun.
So sweaty right now.
I
Damn,
feel
like-
cruel.
hot, like, whew.
Hey.
It had to be done though.
You know what? Someone always has to go first, and it's always incredibly difficult. But you know what? This means that the 7 of you have made it through your first elimination, and that means that you'll be making it to our second immunity challenge next week. Congratulations to you for surviving tonight. All right, and with that, that brings us to the end of our first elimination on Season 2 of Survivor TTS. Until next time. The heat is flying. The heat is flying.
But I think he's cheating.
Oh! You just got roasted!
Yeah, I'd really appreciate it if you stopped bullying our team.
Oh, ain't no, your butt ain't that big to make a butt dial 3 times.